Okay, so this is another What's on My Workbench. This time around, I did finish off. Forgot to grab it. I did finish off one of the battery packs for the Sega Nomad. So now it has a little USB charging port on the back here. It should last over 20 hours, if my math is right. You can see it's running off the battery pack now. So it's running completely off the batteries. The weight is decent. It's actually a little bit lighter, but not terribly lighter than the existing pack, so the balance isn't way off. So, since I got one pack done, I was going to show how I did it. This way. So this is the pack itself. Only problem I had last time is I scuffed up the sides a little bit, so I'm going to try a little bit different this time, using a different spudging tool to get in there. So far, I mean, you have your little, these are your lithium-ion cells. This is the little charging circuit that's going inside. This is the existing pack. Let me see if I can... So it looks like these packs are just glued together, more or less, so you kind of have to get in there and break the glue holding it together. This is tools actually left over from, I think it was a Motorola Razor years ago that, yeah, it's hard to get these cases open. Yeah, I'll leave that one in. Leave one in the corner. The last time I opened the cases up, this battery case up, I used a metal tool. I left a little too many marks on it than I liked. Come on, you can come. Key is you don't want to undo your work as you get in there. Let's see if we can get in here. Bit more force than you'd expect. There we go. So you get the spudging tool underneath this lip. You can see the lip actually goes this way. You can see there's actually a little glue bond on here that actually holds it together. So when you open one of these up, there's not too much to it. You have, these are the now leaked cells. So all we're going to save out of here is don't need any of this. Well, I am going to save this board here just for aesthetic reasons. I like to leave this in just so it looks nice. But in terms of actually doing something, it doesn't do anything. If you plug it in, it won't go anywhere. So all I do is clip everything. That's garbage. So that's a piece of garbage. Alright, so when you actually get in here, what you're going to have to do is I'll reset up my camera on my other workbench. I have two workbenches. These parts here need to be milled out, because otherwise when you go to put it in place, see how it sits a little crooked? What you do is I'm going to mill this out, I mill these out, mill this surface down, I mill these fins off, and then the actual board here is going to go in just like this. So I need to mill off these two fins here, and mill the whole top surface here, and mill these off, and mill this off, and then I use the end mill to cut a oval slot here. This board will sit just like that. So it'll sit in there just like that. With I start the mill hole here and move over, so it's gonna sit just like that when it's all done. Batteries, later I'll show how you actually can safely attach wires to these batteries and how to attach it, and go through that later. But I wanted to just show how you open it up. This takes a couple of these little tools, these little spudging tools. They get in there. The glue bond. This is the back. This is the front. This part's the back. Zoom back out. So this is the back. This is the front. You can see when you come in, you gotta come in going this way to pry it off. So you come along and you break the glue seals that are all on the bottom case. You can still see there's glue left here. But yeah, that's how you pry it apart. So that's step one, and then I'll get my camera set up on my my other workbench, and I'll show you how you actually go through and mill all these off. Alright everyone, welcome to my other workbench. I actually have two workbenches. One of them is for mostly electronics, and the other is for mechanical work in terms of cutting plastic. I have this, let's zoom back a little bit. Ooh. This lovely Dremel tool here with the stand, which I can raise up and down, and a nice little XY table. I can easily control where I want the parts to go. So we're back to the Sega Nomad battery compartment. And it's positive, it's negative. So the material I'm going to do is I'm going to take down this entire surface here. I'm going to take these off, these little fins. I'm going to cut a little channel here. I cut this section here on this one. This surface doesn't matter because where the batteries hit, it doesn't really get to. And then similarly on the bottom case, the top half, I'm going to take off this material, these edges here. Probably take a little bit of this off too. Actually, these don't matter up here. Don't need to worry about those. But I do want to take off this, and a little bit of this. So, I could come through with a pair of nippers and do the same thing, but I just like the way it looks when you give a nice clean edge using the end mill. End mill is just a special type of drill bit, really. And it has little fluted edges that allow you to move it up a little bit so you can get at it. Sometimes you gotta take these off and move them a little bit. Let's see if I can get with this. Let's see if I get enough grip with this. Key is you don't want to go too nutty with it, because you don't want to completely destroy it. It's actually a stop over on the right side of this tool, so I'm going to move it out a little bit. Hit the stop, come back a little bit. Usually I eyeball it anyway when I'm running, but in case I get too enthusiastic, I can control, make sure the depth isn't too high. Actually, it's really cool how this works. You just turn around. I actually need to move this forward a little bit so I can get at it with the working with the end mill. Loosen up. Let's move it up. Now, if you're ever working with these end mills, don't touch that bit. It is really hot right now. Hotter than you'd think it would be. So that was the main pass I did there. Move this up again. These come off. Come on. Get back here. originally got this end mill, this whole setup here with the XY table for modding my Game Boy to put a different screen in there. But that was quite the challenge, actually. That was actually kind of unpleasant. Don't really want to do that one again. See, it's pretty much as I hit the... Check the depth here. So again, I'm using this little, there's a little limit on the side here. I like to set so I don't accidentally bore through the bottom of the world. This one doesn't really need to get much taken off. Two of them. There's the third. The longest part is repositioning the hold downs. Someday I'll get a table with more travel, but the amount of actual plastic cutting I have to do really doesn't justify it much anymore. I probably will end up using this for one of my own projects. I'm going to take an old Tiger Gamecom and install a Raspberry Pi in there with a new screen. The biggest limit I'm thinking there is I might need to cut a nice cutout in the back of it just for the depth, but I might not have to. I'm not sure yet. So that's a wacky wild project coming. Now I'm also going to use this setup for making like my own version of a Switch with a nice 7-inch display, but arcade style control, so that should be interesting. I saw it move, so I stopped it. But I think the key to doing any quality work is even if no one's ever going to see it again, you know you did it right. You don't want to know there's some hokiness going on in there. Again, I left these tabs, it didn't matter, so these are all taken off now. I'll come through with a pair of, this is my thumb, So those are all zinged off now. Now on the other side here we have, this is the back. There's two things that need to go on here. Take this out, take that out, drop that surface, drop that surface, drop this surface down, and cut a hole for the USB charging port. Take these out. These will get reused because this is what makes the contacts that actually interface with the Game Gear. Well, it's convenient. I'll use the other part as a tool holder. There we go. Alright. More noise. It doesn't need to be. I mean, I try to keep it pretty straight to make it easy to work with. The only one I'm really concerned about how straight it is going to be the hole for the USB charging port. Okay, so we're getting there. Okay, get over here. actually the very first time I have ever taken a video of my plastic cutting. Stage anxiety. Yeah, that's actually turned out pretty well. I'm going to have to come back and clean that up a little bit. Well, for now, it's actually getting pretty late. I'm getting a little tired and a little slap happy, so I don't really want to mess this up tonight. So I'll be finishing this off tomorrow, so I'll end the video tonight. I'm not going to cut anymore tonight because I'm just a little tired. So I'm going to finish cutting this down, this down, and this down. I'll do that tomorrow night and do the batteries, so see how it works. I will talk to everyone tomorrow.